newspaper is Akron's #1 voice for urban press. So when events like this happen, we have to be out here to show everybody this black excellence. And speaking about black excellence,
live from luxurious Akron, Ohio, you're watching Blurred City.
In the building, we got my man. Hey, listen, this is The Usual Suspects, and we're in the building. Like I tell everybody, listen, this particular podcast showcases the dynamic faces that frequent this platform. That's AkronHipHop.com and Akron Hip Hop TV. Right now, this is Blurred City. And tell everybody what Blurred City means. What's a blurred?
A blurred is pretty much somebody who's into video games, movies, film, television from a black perspective.
I like that. And speaking about that, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man.
Yes, sir.
We might as well jump right into it. My man, James Gunn.
James Gunn.
Movie director extraordinaire. We already know he got the job as the president, co-president of DCU. That's what they're calling it now.
Yes.
No more DCEU or whatever. It's the DCU, simplifying the thing. And a lot of things we're going to talk about what he's planning on doing.
Sure.
James Gunn is the guy that was working with Marvel, and he kicked off, what's the name of that?
He is responsible for Guardians of the Galaxy.
Came over, did some work with DC as far as the Peacemaker,
yes,
and the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad, yeah.
And so he ended up getting the deal to finally put an end to the Snyderverse and reboot the DCU.
Yes.
It's a lot of stuff happening, brother. It's a lot of stuff happening. First off, I'm going to say this. We got two things that's happening that they're going to keep. The Batman that your boy, brother Kendrick was hating on.
Yeah.
So part 2 is coming out in 2025.
Yes, sir.
And they're going to keep the Joker.
Yes, sequel to the Joker.
Yeah. And they're not going to intertwine this with any of the new canon. So this is what they're doing. They got the Batman and the Joker is going to be on the outside of what James is doing or Gunn is doing, okay?
Yes.
And they calling it, you know what they call it? What's happening outside of the universe?
I want to say it's called DC Elseworld.
Yeah, they call it Elseworld. That's
DC,
exactly right.
Yeah.
So that means it may be some stuff that he's not going to have authority over, even though he's the one who's going to say go. Right. And the dope thing about what he also said was he want to bring the uniqueness of the producers and the directors and the writers into the film, because it'll make every film different and stuff. So let's go over some of the things that they're doing, man. And we're going to kind of critique what's been going on.
Cool. Well, I guess we can start off with Creature Commandos.
Now, I'm glad you said that, bro.
Yes.
When I heard what the hell he was doing, I heard some names. I mean, goddamn. Listen, I ain't the nerdiest of the nerds, okay? I'm a blur, okay? I kind of dabble more on the black hand side. You feel no?
Hey.
Who in the blue? I'm gonna tell you what y'all thought. Who in the blue hell are the Creatures Commandos?
That's the first thing I thought too. Like, you really have to go back and really be a hardcore DC fan. Creature Commandos came out in the early 70s, and it was like, I'm talking bargain basement superheroes that were creatures that were a team. It was a team of creature/superheroes, and it was very kind of underground. It wasn't in the tier of your Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
So he's doing this cartoon style. It's gonna be an animation.
It will be an animated series, 7 episodes, and he's the guy to do it. If you're gonna bring out obscure characters, he's the guy to do it. So
okay, then they're gonna do something that it's an offspring or a spinoff of the Peacemaker, his Peacemaker thing. Who is that?
I want to say it's Waller.
Right.
Waller. I love Viola Davis. I'm a big Viola Davis fan, and it's basically her story. She's still the same kind of shady character who put together the Suicide Squad. She's the head of the task force, and it's really focused on her and her character.
A lot of people say this is going to be a TV series on
Yes.
on HBO Max, and maybe something else by that time.
Yes,
So that's good that they're taking it up. But
for sure.
I think it's genius because
yeah.
he's the one that did the Peacemaker. So this will be a great spinoff. So you liking that?
Absolutely.
Now here's another one that blew me away. Okay, slow your roll, pump your brakes, James. Who the hell is the Authority? Is these some offshoot comic book heroes like the boys or something? What's going on?
Well, with the Authority originally was a creation of Jim Lee's. If you're familiar with Jim Lee, comic book icon, he owned it when he was running his own studio called Wildstorm. He sold Wildstorm about 15 years ago to DC.
Okay.
So DC inherited all of these characters, and some of those characters are the Authority. They are an extreme group of superheroes who kind of fight crime in kind of a questionable way. It kind of puts you in the mind of A Few Good Men.
Okay.
Jack Nicholson's character, how, it's like, you wanted him on that wall.
Okay.
He had some questionable tactics, but he got the job done, and that's what the Authority is.
Again, I got to give it to you, hard body. Why are you doing this to me? Okay? What the hell? Now look, I told my wife, watch, they're gonna pull some shit out of the woodwork way far back deep in the catalog.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's a trip. It's a trip. So, and the Paradise Lost. That's going to be super dope. Talk about that.
For sure. Paradise Lost is almost a Game of Thrones kind of a series about Wonder Woman's home island. So there's a lot of stories that they can pluck from there.
Now, she's not going to be in it at first. This is her prequel before she was born.
It's being considered a prequel. We don't know if she'll appear. I think she will, but we don't know if she'll appear. I mean, it's her home. It's her home world. She's got to.
But they can stretch it for a minute before they show Wonder Woman.
Exactly.
They can show her mom. They can show Juice hitting her mom off with the galactic Zeus power.
I'm not quite sure what all they gonna show, but
it's got to be adult though. They got to have I'm thinking they got to have a budget at least of a Game of Thrones or something like that.
Well,
to make this look good.
It's hard to say because Game of Thrones is a hard act to follow, and Warner Brothers is, they're pretty stretched out here, but it should be pretty good.
Next we got on the thing. A bunch of people are crazy about this guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, personally, if I wasn't at least as deep as I am, I wouldn't know who the hell this guy is either. Because I'm seeing it on the internet, like, who in the hell? And then they got him all elevated, like you're supposed to know who this guy is.
Right.
But a lot of people don't. Booster Gold, talk about him.
Booster Gold, I want to say he came out in the 80s-ish. And basically, he's a loser from the future who finds a way to come back in time. And once he comes back in time, he pretends or is an imposter as a superhero. So he's a loser in the future, goes back in time, and he's a superhero in the present.
Is he a loser as a superhero still?
Kinda. He's an imposter. So there's a lot of comedy there. There's a lot of stories that they can, pull from there too.
Now look, we had to get the toiletry out the way.
Toiletry.
Okay. If I see another toilet bowl, I'm just keeping it out. This is Blurred City. And I don't mean to disrespect nobody.
Hey.
If I see another commode comic book rendition of these commodes, I mean the ones you flush down the toilet. That's what I mean by commode. I don't want to see that.
They're pretty obscure.
I mean, Jesus Christ, only because it's 80 people that we're familiar with that you can just get instant books off of. And I know it's a marketing strategy to unleash these obscure comic book people. I just don't. I mean, when you DC, I can name 80 people right now.
Right.
So before we even go with the big ones, let's go with Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah. Did you see that? The last one they did a couple years ago on HBO. It was on the DC app.
I'm not sure if I saw the last one, but my favorite Swamp Thing is
The
one
80s movies?
from the 80s. Yeah.
They actually did the Swamp Thing about 2 years ago.
Okay.
It was a series and everything. It was dope.
I think I might have missed that one, but I like how they portray Swamp Thing in the video games, like with what is that? Like with the Injustice games and things, like you really have a chance to see what Swamp Thing can do, how powerful he is, and yeah,
that's what they're gonna do on this movie.
I hope so.
I mean,
I hope
and
so,
I almost got mad at that when they said that. Almost.
Yeah, it's like they kind of nerfed him a lot of times. You know, you don't really have a chance to see all the things that Swamp Thing can do. So I hope that they.
You really excited about Swamp Thing coming on its first? They're calling them not. Are they calling them chapters?
Well,
what are they calling these things? This is the first chapter.
Well, I guess you could call it. You know, Marvel has phases, so DC probably has something along the lines
they call it chapters,
phases. And I guess the first one is called Gods and Monsters.
Yeah,
I want to say so.
Obviously, a whole bunch of
so
monsters.
It would be a part of that.
So that means Zeus got to come in and shoot the Zeus style.
He might.
He got to pump the style down.
He might.
Okay, then we got
I'm gonna laugh about that on the way home.
I know that's right. Who the hell is what I'm looking at, man? Talk about that, man.
Well, let's see. You got lanterns.
Now that's gonna be dope.
For sure.
Now I understand that this. You know what's gonna be? Tell everybody what they're gonna do.
Well, I think what they're gonna do is try to pull a lot of stories from the Lantern world. Like, people are familiar with Green Lantern. A lot of people aren't familiar that there's a lot of different kinds of lanterns.
Right, Guy Gardner,
all over the
John
universe,
Stewart, and stuff like that.
In my opinion, he's one of the most underrated superheroes there.
Green Lantern or a Green Lantern?
Green Lantern.
Which one? Anyone?
Really, anyone. I mean, it's like he's as powerful as his imagination is. So it's like, how powerful could he be? You know what I mean?
Unless he's a nitwit.
Exactly.
I hate to say it like that. But I understand they're going to do this like a regular old detective show, outer space. So, and they're going to have quite a few of the lanterns showcasing, breaking, solving crimes and everything. Because this is like a space,
like a force.
Yeah. It's going to be like outer space cop.
Super cool.
I think that's going to be dope. Yeah. We also got Supergirl.
That's
gonna be crazy.
The woman of tomorrow. So, I mean, really, her story has yet to be told the right way on screen and film or television. So, hopefully, they take this chance to tell the story of Supergirl. Supergirl is more powerful than Superman.
What?
Supergirl.
Oh, Lord, you're about to
powerful.
Get us canceled. What the hell?
Superman is my favorite character all time.
Oh, okay.
And Supergirl is more powerful than he is.
Where are you getting this from? That's not in my canon. I ain't never seen. What the hell?
I believe it is canon. She's the older cousin. She was sent to protect him. And when he was shot here as a baby,
she was off in the time warp, marinating.
She ended up going off course, so she got here late. By the time she got here, Superman was grown.
Yeah.
But she was actually sent to protect him.
Yeah, I still don't see how she's supposed to be stronger than him. But here's the thing, though. This particular show, this movie, it's going to be a movie.
Yeah.
They said she's going to be kind of an irritated, not so nice, a little more smug here because she was stranded on a kind of residual piece of kryptonite planet, some of the residue of the planet, and she was seeing people just dying.
Yeah.
So it made her shitty.
Yeah, and it's like it's almost the Superman story you wanted but you didn't get, because Superman left his home planet as an infant, and it explodes. What if Superman left his planet as a teenager,
old enough to understand
what had happened? He would have come to Earth
salty,
upset. You know what I'm saying? And it would have played out in his behavior, in what he did, who he decided to save, how he decides to save. He would have been a superhero. He would have been a powered Batman, basically.
Yeah, because he would have been jaded.
He would have been super
Or he would have been
jaded.
like Blackburn. You see that
Right,
movie?
right. Yeah,
That
exactly.
was, I thought that was dope. Man. I thought
Exactly,
that was
exactly.
dope.
So Supergirl's story is more similar to Batman's than it is to Superman's.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. I like that. I like that. Speaking about Batman, now I'm excited about this because what James Gunn said just blew me away. I agree with him. My favorite Robin is Damian as well. Okay, he's spunky, funky. He's hell. He was raised by the demon head himself, Ra's al Ghul. Okay, that's his son. So Batman left some luggage when he was training, apparently, with Ra's al Ghul's daughter.
Talia
Al Ghul,
yeah.
yeah. And so Batman gets responsible at 10 years old with this little guy.
Right.
And he has an attitude. Let's talk about the movie. What's the name of the movie?
It's called The Brave and the Bold. It's basically Batman and his son. His son is, to put it nicely, rotten.
Right.
Kind of, wayward. And
I mean, he's an assassin.
Yeah.
He done killed some folks already.
So it's a new way that we get a chance to see Batman, because he has to be a superhero, a father. He has to show things that you usually don't have a chance to see him do. Usually we see him, jack people up, but now he also has to be, a father and an adult and make reasonable decisions. So it's kind of a cool conflict to see him put in.
And the dope thing about it, if you guys don't know exactly how Damian is supposed to act, you can watch any of the animations. Mm-hmm. They got him to the T. Most recently, animation came out. It was called The Battle of the Super Sons. It was Batman's son and Superman's son. That's Damian and John. So Damian Wayne and Jonathan Kent getting together for the first time, meeting each other for the first time. It's hilarious.
Wow.
This shit is hilarious because they got Damian so perfect on this thing.
Yeah.
It's excellent. And also, with Damian being in this thing, I believe it's going to be a liaison or jumping off point to bring the rest of the Bat family in for future shows. I mean, for future movies. Right?
For sure.
They better pick the right Batman.
I mean, there will probably be a lot of world building. It's basically their whole. It's the whole approach for all of these DC characters to use their diamond characters like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman to raise the more obscure characters. So it's almost like a sandbox, and all of these characters have a chance to play in it, and we get to see it.
Man, which is dope, man. Listen, you guys trying to check us out, don't forget we do this thing every week. This is Blurred City with my man Cam Caution. Okay, in the building. Cameron Blakey, you guys already know. He is an incredible comic book artist, writer, and publisher. Let's talk about what you got coming out next, bruh.
Well, right now I just recently put out a book called Holcomb and Friends. It's about a cat named Holcomb who drinks coffee.
Did you say a cat like a homeboy?
He's a cat.
Like Garfield.
It's an actual cat, kind of like Garfield.
Okay.
He drinks coffee. He has this undeserved sense of achievement. He thinks he's more than he is, and he has a lot of fun with a lot of lovable characters, and it's actually pretty funny.
So where is this book available? Where can you get it?
This book is available on lulu.com. You can go to the link lulu.com/spotlight/Cameron Blakey. Yeah, have fun reading it. You will laugh. I guarantee you will laugh. It's a lot of crazy stuff in there.
So let's do a recap of what you got out right now. And you can get all your books at lulu.com.
Yes.
Let's give a recap so when they go, they can be familiar with some of your other work as well.
Oh, sure. Well, there's Holcomb and Friends with the cat. There's also a book called Apricot, which I put out last year. It's kind of a science fiction / romance
Man,
story.
it's super dope.
Oh, thanks,
Dude,
man. I
that shit
appreciate it.
is super dope.
You got to read it twice because it won't read the same. You know, you have to read it once and then read it one more time, and it'll read totally different.
Netflix. James Gunn.
Hey,
somebody get in touch with my man, because the comic book is off the hook and everything. And you also peddle smut. Understand?
Yes, I do. I do.
I'm just playing. Tell him what you really do.
Well, I've been doing pinup art now for 13 years. Sold thousands of pictures around the world. You know, I do commission art, and a lot of my clients, you know, like curvy ladies. I like curvy ladies, so
why not get together and make some money?
We have that in common, so we crank it out, and we make a lot of art, you know, pinup art, you know, for people all over the world.
So you selling curvy ladies online?
I sell depictions of curvy ladies.
Okay.
Online.
I thought you was digital pimping.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all.
Well, take us out of here, man.
All right, well, there you have it. This is Blurred City in luxurious Akron, Ohio. We are here at the Mecca Morning Studio.
Yeah, wherever you want us to be.
We are at the Mecca Studio in luxurious Akron, Ohio.
Do it like my man, like you did at the beginning. That was hilarious. We are at.
We are in luxurious Akron, Ohio, Blurred City, with your host Hiram D, your man Cameron Blakey, musical guest Cool in the Gang,
and the Roots. The Roots.
The Roots.
All right, man, we out, y'all.